Ladies and gentlemen, I am Corione, your witch in residence here on YouTube. And today we're going to talk about the movie Saw. Now, for those who don't know, Saw is a personal favorite. It's one of the only gory movies that I really actually enjoy. Because I feel like, yeah, it's got the gory slasher stuff, but it's like a thinking man's horror film. So, since it's October, I'm going to try to focus more on the scary and the spooky and the wild and weird, because you know what? We deserve a little bit of a break from the mundane, and I think there's still a lot we can learn from some of these titles. So, before I get too deep in, I just want to say thank you to everyone who's chosen to subscribe to my channel. For those who have not yet, I hope today is the day I earn your subscription with some fun content. Additionally, if anyone is interested, my channel has channel memberships. There's a lot to say and do in there. We are going to be posting some of our first videos specifically for channel members, and access to the Rogue Council is incredibly useful. So please consider doing so. Thank you very much. And with that obligatory ritual out of the way, let's get down to what we can learn about Saw. So, the premise behind Saw is the killer in this puts people in predicaments where they have to do something outside of normal people's comfort zones to escape. He always offers them some way out. Sometimes it means hurting someone else. Sometimes it means getting through an elaborate sequence or combination. Sometimes it means being ready to saw your own foot off. The idea is he's trying to show these people that they can really live and get out of their mundane world by being in danger and realizing the true value of the life that they have. Now, personally, I am definitely a proponent of the concept of to learn, one must suffer, but I don't think it needs to be this bad, okay? I don't think one needs to be tortured or, abused, per se, to learn a lesson. I feel there are far less evil ways to teach somebody the importance of certain things. So, when we talk about this sort of thing, I do want to talk, though, about really living and accepting that your day-to-day life may not be as fulfilling as you need it to be. So let's talk about some safer ways to get out of your comfort zone. If you're like me, I've never been big on the bar scene, okay? I mean, there is a local bar that I go into, but it's a nerd bar, okay? It's where my people, you guys, hang out. And, I feel okay there. But a regular bar, I don't feel like I would talk to anyone there. And I realize that sometimes, you do need a little bit of a thrill. And taking that risk and saying hello to a stranger and asking them about their day and getting to know somebody new for the first time is dangerous and risky in our heads, but can be so fulfilling when we try. Another good one is, for example, my wife absolutely despises roller coasters, okay? Now, I'm not saying get on the most dangerous roller coaster around. What I'm saying is consider maybe starting with something small. A smaller attraction with a good safety record that you can work your way up to whatever goal you feel is holding you back, okay? Take small steps. Small steps will eventually lead to a big step. And at the end of the day, the big step is what we're all looking to accomplish, right? We're looking to step out into the wider world. But do so in a reasonable fashion, right? You don't get into an airplane and jump out of a perfectly good airplane and go skydiving day one. You go through all the lessons. You potentially jump with somebody who's got a lot of experience. You're potentially hooked to somebody with a lot of experience to make sure you make it down the first time by yourself. And you learn everything that you need to know to be safe about doing it. I'm going to encourage you all to do that. right? Take the time to learn something that's just a little bit outside of your comfort zone. Have a little bit of excitement, a small adventure. Go to a town near you that has an attraction that you want to check out, even if it's just for the day, right? Because even though it may just be the world's largest ball of twine, it might be fun to see it. Or if you're in Ontario, there's a place here called the Big Apple. It's a giant red apple on the side of the 401. And, I always passed by it and I thought, okay, it's kind of cool. You drive by it with a friend who's never been in Ontario and they see it and they go, oh, neat. But it wasn't until later that I actually drove into the little tourist area they have and found out they have a really, really good apple pie restaurant in it. So, I got to enjoy pie by having a little bit of an adventure. And yeah, it may not seem like something big to somebody who, goes to Egypt or what have you. But start small, right? That person who went to Egypt, or, that friend who took a trek into the Amazon or something, started by buying the gear, doing the research, learning what they needed to learn to be able to do that trip. They don't tell you that, but they did do it. But that's what we get to do, right? We get to start those small pieces of our adventure and build into something big and exciting, which I want you guys all to eventually be able to achieve, whatever that big exciting thing is for you. And it's okay if along your journey and along your research and along taking those small steps, you go, you know what? This is not really something I want to do. And that's okay. Start a new adventure, a new hobby, something that pushes you out of your comfort zone just a little. Because we've, since, the unknown virus of unspecified origin, we've all gotten very comfortable in our routine and being at home and sitting and not doing exciting things anymore. Let's change that, shall we? Let's remember why we live, and that is to truly enjoy life. Okay? Don't allow it to become boring. It can be comfortable, but it shouldn't be so comfortable that you don't want to go out anymore. Okay? Comfort in your life should be like your favorite set of pajamas. Warm, comfy, great to lie around the house in. But eventually you have to put on your pants, a nice shirt, and go out and go do things in your day. And this is all I'm saying, is if we can learn anything from Saw, it's that we need to remember to truly live. Because one day you may be called into a position where you do truly need to live, where you have to be able to face those few moments of real and absolute danger. And if you're not prepared for it, if you're not ready to accept that sometimes there is major danger out there and we have to deal with it, then you won't be prepared and you'll shrink away from the danger in front of your door. And we should never do that. We should always rise to face challenges. And sure, we may not always succeed. We may sometimes fall flat on our face. But that's okay, because we tried and we lived. And I encourage all of you to live, and live deeply, and live well. Don't get me wrong, I'd still appreciate you watching my videos on YouTube. But I'd like you to live while you're doing it. I'd like you to go and do something exciting, something you've always wanted to do. Something that you need to do for yourself. And don't worry about looking foolish. Don't worry about any of the other pieces. Just do it and enjoy. I promise you all, I'll be very proud of you, even if you fall flat on your face. And in the comments, if we could, can we ask everybody to post about their adventures they've taken recently, or encouraging steps they've taken towards an adventure? I will even start us off by giving an example. So I'm going to start out with my story. Very recently, I took a trip to BC. I've been there a little bit before, but every time we've done it, somebody's picked us up. It's been I've arrived in style or flew directly in, that sort of thing. This time my wife and I met up with the wonderful and amazing Scogliotin. Shout out to an awesome dude. Giant of a man. Kind of literally. And we rented a car and we drove through the mountains ourselves. And one of the first things we acknowledged when we got into the car and we're waiting for the GPS to catch up to where we were, we acknowledged, okay, we're going to get lost. We're going to screw this up at some point. And we're going to get totally off the beaten path. And that's okay. And when we acknowledged that and we took a little bit of a wrong turn, we got to see some pretty cool stuff. And then when we got back on the right path, we got to enjoy the adventure all the more. And when we pulled in and got to see our friends, it was a wonderful experience that led to some interesting pieces for my future and for my wife's future. I can't wait to talk to you guys all about it as much as I'm allowed. But for now, what I want to say is, if this adventure taught me anything, it's that to get out of your comfort zone and truly live sometimes. Because we never know when we're going to need that memory. We're never going to know when we're going to need to accept, okay, we're going to screw this up a little bit, but that's okay. Because little experiences like that prepare us for the big ones, right? And I want you guys to be ready. I want you guys to be in a wonderful place. And so I hope from what you gain from my story is, go and have those adventures, but bring a well-designed GPS. Thanks, everybody. I'm going to close it out here. Merry meet, merry part, and merry meet again. Take care, everybody.